Hey there, Bear Club! At the Mama Bear Initiative, we explore how to protect ourselves so we can protect our cubs, the people who depend on us. Join us and get the confidence you need to stay safe, make good choices, and protect yourself and those you care about. Let's go!
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of uneven. I don't know, maybe Rochelle could go down a little bit.
Move this down?
No, the other way.
That way? Like that? Is that better?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try to fix my camera just a smidge.
Whoa.
Oh, that was too much. Too much of a smidge.
Too much smidge. You over-smidged.
I over-smidged.
How does one over smidge? I don't know.
Well, now you're too low, Rochelle. Come for just a tiny smidge.
A tiny smidge.
A tiny smidge.
Is that better?
That's better.
That looks good.
Okay.
Now we're the three even talking heads.
Even talking heads. Okay.
I feel like we should be recording an 80s video or something.
An 80s video? What would we be singing?
I don't know, but we could all be like...
I'm just assuming we're singing.
Just assuming we're singing, yeah.
Oh, wait, that's 90s. Never mind.
No, that was the 80s, too. It started in the 80s.
Towards the end. Ish. Oh, well. Hello. Welcome to our podcast. I'm Stephanie Dunham.
I'm Evelyn Mason.
I'm Rochelle Knapp.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today. We are obviously in another silly mood. I think that's just but back in the day when we started this podcast, we were doing audio only. I remember we would have to warm up for about 5 minutes. We'd set a timer and we would just briefle throttle. And that's a word Evelyn made up a long time ago. It's not spelled like it sounds. We won't bother you with the spelling. Right now, it's a little crazy. However, you just sort of take things to the most absurd level you can. So we just kind of jive that way. It's our jam. So we get on here and start briefle throttling. We obviously don't take it to its most illogical conclusion, unfortunately.
Oh, what do you mean? We did take it to the most illogical
Well, I mean, we kind of did, but we could really go on for about 15 minutes.
True. Yes.
Excuse me.
Definitely gotten really absurd.
Yeah. There is no self-control when there's briefle throttling going on.
Nope.
It's just supreme ridiculousness.
Supreme. The best. Yeah.
The
anyway,
pinnacle.
Last week we talked about defensiveness, and we just uploaded that one today. And today we decided to talk about denial. And we're not talking about the river in Egypt. Haha, beat you to it, Evelyn.
Well, what you don't know is prior to you coming on, I had said that to Rochelle, so I feel like it's out of my system.
Oh, so I'm just copying you?
Yeah.
I see.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Yes, and we're not in denial about it not being actually a geography lesson tonight.
Yeah,
true.
It's not a geography lesson.
Nope.
Sorry.
Not sorry.
The talking about the Nile makes me think of the 1995 Sense and Sensibility when Edward Ferrars and what's the
Margaret? The little girl, Margaret?
The older sister, the oldest one.
Eleanor.
When him and Eleanor were talking about where the coffee beans come and what the source of the Nile was. Do you remember that little bit?
Kind of.
And then Margaret pops out.
Yes. Yes, because they were saying all these wrong geography facts on purpose, just because they knew where she was, but she thought she was hiding from them.
Yeah. And then she finally comes out. She goes, "No, the source of the Nile is in Abyssinia."
And they're like, goal achieved.
Hello, I'm Margaret.
Hello,
I'm not Margaret.
No.
Sorry. Oh, well. So, yeah, we're talking about denial, which is cousins with defensiveness. Last
First
week we
cousins.
started talking about how we have been defensive. We never defined it first, so I think we should probably do things a little different today. Maybe
sure.
define
Denial
what we
means.
mean by denial.
Denial.
What is it?
Good idea.
How does it work? And
Good
then we
idea.
can talk about how we've been in denial in our trauma,
Mm-hmm.
because that's really what we're trying to get at, is how denial can be really detrimental.
Yeah. Now, I don't know, I don't have a dictionary in front of me right now, but I always think of denial as there's reality. I don't want to deal with reality. So at whatever level I try to create an alternate reality or just don't accept what's actually true, I'm in denial.
Yeah. That's basically it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it.
And I think a lot of people are in denial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, you confront them about whatever and they're like, oh no, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, their life is imploding.
Yeah.
Or they've just committed a crime, or they've done something like a DUI, or, you know,
Yeah.
or they're losing their, source of income. It could be anything, really.
Right.
And
Like-
they keep admitting, they keep saying, no, I'm fine.
Right.
It's like the memes of the people sitting in a fire. This is fine.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
It's funny,
the
but a
whole
good
room.
illustration of what we're talking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
the room is
Engulfed in
burning
flames.
down. Yes.
Yes.
Rochelle,
Yes.
your headphone says your microphone says it's a headset, not your microphone. You just sound like you're talking into a can.
Okay.
Put the can down.
Let me see here. Communication.
We're not doing
headset.
communication with strings and cans.
Oh, we're not.
Not
No.
tonight.
Okay. Well, that's a bummer. I'm kidding.
Although this
Headphone.
kind of looks
yeah.
like a
Okay. Headphones. Wait, that is the headphones. Sound
Yeah.
for so it's the microphone then.
the
Needs to be
PNP
switched.
USB.
I'm gonna have to switch. I have to go out and come back, and I can't do it from the drop this.
That's all right. We'll be
String.
here. We'll be here.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
back. She'd be right back.
We're recording her coming back. Technical issues we generally work out ahead of time, which apparently we didn't.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oopsie.
Oopsie. We're just three middle-aged women doing a thing.
just trying to get through the day.
Yeah, pretty much. And what a day I've had. What a day.
I am fighting the urge to sing.
Okay, it is it better now? It automatically went.
Yes.
Okay.
We can hear you now.
Yeah, I was wondering. Oh wow, I'm wondering why it wasn't showing up louder. Okay, that makes sense.
Wow.
So you guys
You
gotta
sound-
check before you come in, make sure it's the right
Yeah,
one.
I generally do. I just forgot this time.
Mhm.
Well, 50 with lashes with the wet noodle for you.
Sorry, like I say
Gosh.
at work often.
After.
Sorry for being human.
After the podcast, okay?
You
So,
you
No wet noodles now.
Dur, dur, dur.
I'm a human. Dur, dur,
I'm
dur.
I'm a woman. Dur, dur, dur. Evelyn has a t-shirt with a cat on it doing that. I'm a human. Dur, dur, dur.
And then the cat's standing up on its hind legs.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing. Last time I said that at work, somebody's like, "How dare you be human and make a mistake?"
How dare you? Are you in denial about your humanity?
Nope,
Ah.
definitely not.
Yeah.
I remember hearing a guy say that he was in denial about being in denial.
Yeah,
Okay.
relatable.
Well, let's talk about why it's there. Why do people get into denial? I mean, you kind of touched on it a little bit in your definition, but feels like it's a way of, I mean, if we have maladaptive behaviors like addiction, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and it's working to keep us calm, focused, or whatever,
Yeah.
we don't necessarily want to recognize that it's maladaptive, because that would mean that we would, if we had any integrity, we would have to stop it.
Yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel like a lot of people approach it. I don't know that everybody approaches it that way, but And some people are fighting against the idea that they need to change even though they know better.
Yeah.
I've watched a few of those videos about when people are being confronted about their addictions by their family.
Intervention.
And intervention. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the word.
And they, a lot of times, some of them will say, yeah, I know this is a problem, but I don't care. Some of them will say, what problem?
It's really funny, but
it's just a few drinks. I'm like, they're just not prepared to deal with stopping the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's tough to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was thinking in my own case, it started when I was little, because there was a lot of really hard stuff that happened outside of my home. So I was bullied a lot, mostly by kids at school, but even a few in the neighborhood. And then at home, there was a whole other set of problems. So I could escape for a while. I'd either escape in my mind, which I used to do at school. I was, prime daydreamer. Or, I'd go home and go to my room, and I could just pretend that all of those bad things weren't happening. So it was basically a survival mechanism. And that way I could at least have some reprieve, because I didn't have the tools at the time to make the pain stop.
Yeah.
And I couldn't make my parents act a different way. I couldn't really stop my classmates, though I tried, but at least I could escape for a while and pretend everything was okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I was gifted with a very vivid imagination and did something similar, but to the point of complete escapism as much as I could in my mind. And that followed me into adulthood. I realized, I kind of knew this already, but yesterday I was talking to Stephanie and realized that my biggest idol is wanting to be comfortable and feeling entitled to that. And how the denial plays into that is, and the fantasy type mentality is denial of what's really going on around me, what's really happening in my life. And it's humbling to say that I would rather be dealing with, and I would not have said this 6 months ago, I would rather now be dealing with pain, the pain I have because of my trauma, and moving towards reality than not. Because as a young person, I was an EMT for a while in my early 20s, and I watched so many people go through what we were talking about, denial about their condition. We'll leave it at that. Addiction. We had regular people we'd pick up. And that taught me how bad, at least addiction actually is. How blinded people can be to their condition. And that was before I became a believer. And now, as a middle-aged adult, understanding my own condition and how bad it is. I'm not responsible for my trauma, but I'm responsible now for my behavior and for what has manifested in me as a result of not living in reality, being in denial about what's really going on. It's funny because I can remember even a year ago having all this fear. I still have fear and anxiety, but it's different now. Like, it's becoming something different. Having all this fear, all this uncertainty, all this anxiety, wanting to constantly escape from it all the time. Like, it never really went away. And it's still a battle I have daily right now, but I'm getting better at telling myself, no, that's not reality. It's not going to help me to go there, to try to escape in whatever form I was trying to do it in, to be comfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that at least one of the toughest parts is accepting this is just, people do not want to hear, including myself at many points in my life, this is just how it is. This is just reality. Because I listen to people at work all the time talking about this, that, and the other thing, how much they hate this and wish they could do that. And this is just how it is. This is life. And it sucks most of the time. Stephanie said this morning, life is pain. And especially if you've had extensive trauma, life is pain, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going. I could talk for like 2 hours, but I'll let you guys talk.
Well, thanks.
Thanks.
I have a lot to say, but on this subject.
I have not. Okay. I think for me, denial shows up a little differently. I've always been a forthright person.
Yep.
So I'm usually pretty aware of what I'm dealing with.
Mhm.
I often feel like there's nothing I can do about it. And so for example, the food addiction problem. I don't deny it's a problem. Like, I know it is. But I feel pretty uncertain about how to manage it right now. I'm still trying to work through how to do that with my therapist. Although I feel like I'm making some headway on it. But I think for me, sometimes denial looks something like not recognizing how bad something really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll find myself in a relationship or some situation, and I'll keep like trying to make it okay.
Yeah.
And I'll keep trying to excuse the other person or the situation, or and I'm not saying it's everybody else's fault. That's not my issue. But I'm saying if I needed to leave the situation, I didn't do it because I was in denial about how bad it was.
Yeah.
And it's usually not till way later after I'm out of the situation. Usually God's got to be the one to be like, get the heck out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something will happen that'll make me leave, for example.
Yeah.
And I think part of my problem is not being aware of when something is abusive or manipulative or controlling. I mean, I'm trying to learn what that looks like, but I realize I don't. At some point about 10 years ago, I realized I have no idea what that looks like. How do I keep ending up here? Like, how do I keep ending up in this space where I'm getting rejected and pushed out of something and coming to a place where I understand how bad it really was? Now, I'm also highly skeptical. So if somebody says something, my first reaction is, what? No? Are you sure about that? Which makes me question things about myself. So I'll listen to some podcast or whatever YouTube video. Excuse me. And then I'll start examining myself and wondering if I'm doing that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I worry that I'm in denial about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You and I have had a couple conversations about how much time people spend on their phones.
Right.
And I've made the case for, if you needed to help yourself calm down, I'm okay with it. And you've said you feel like you do too much with it.
Yeah.
And so that makes me go, am I in denial about how much time I spend on my phone? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always questioning myself in that respect, because partially, this came up in therapy today, partially because I want to be correct. I want to be not rejectable by fixing myself and doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to do that up here. Supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Gotcha. Got it.
So now I have been confronted at times about things I was doing and felt defensive and
Mhm.
was in denial. That has happened. I'm like, no, I'm not. Usually between me and my husband, those firstborns just going at
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yep.
I think there's been times where I had to come to the conclusion he's right. I am doing that. But at first I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That's defensive and denying
Yeah. They
reality.
go hand in hand.
Yeah, because, you know, like we talked about last week, the first thing I want to do is just say, no, I'm not. I'm not. Don't treat me like that. Don't talk to me that way. What's the matter with you?
Yeah. I don't, no, that can't be true.
Yeah.
And yet,
But I think from observation out in the world and in different interactions, different relationships, people seem to want to be in denial because they don't want to deal with the past.
Yeah. And they don't want
They
to deal
do
with their
not-
pain.
They don't want to open up that can of worms. Like, the past is in the past. That's the
Yeah.
thing I hear a lot.
yeah.
Leave it in the past. And we have the contention that the past is in me,
Yeah.
Right.
and it keeps showing up in ways that are really harmful to me
Right.
and to
Right.
other people. So denying that you have a past that's hurting you now is actually not going to get you anywhere, and it's going to keep coming up again and again until you do something
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I remember when I was in high school, I had come across this phrase and I loved it. So I would come up to people, even if I didn't know them very well, and I would go, hey, you know something? No matter where you are, there you are. And then I would leave. And they would go, and, but,
True.
Okay.
and I just thought it was
Wait,
hilarious.
Isn't that a Yogi
Now-
Berra saying?
I have no idea, but I had heard it somewhere. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, I love that. People are, I can say that and then walk away and just see what happens. But the thing is, you know, I talked about when I was a kid and I would just escape in various ways, lots of fantasy world in my head, and I would escape into books and other things. But it only worked for a while. And now, grown up adult, you know, I can't just run away every time things get uncomfortable and things get difficult. And I feel like I'm really late to the game on this because the denial is strong with this one. Oh, by the way, I
Mhm.
forgot to turn off my AC. So should I go turn it off now?
Oh, is that what that noise is in the
Yeah.
background?
I didn't want to
Yeah.
interrupt before. Let me go take care of that. I
Okay.
usually just sit here and sweat, but
Now that Rochelle's left and you're leaving, should I get up and leave too?
Did you go fix something that you forgot to do as well?
I feel left out now. I need to get up and leave. Or log out and log back in or something. I don't know. Here, I'll just disappear. That's not
well,
working.
Steph is fading out of the scene.
Oh
But
my
I
gosh.
used to, and Steph used to call me out on this. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm doing great. And I would say it, but then she would say something and I would like go into a meltdown. She's like, you say you're okay, but you're clearly not okay.
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know. Because
Yeah.
I think there was a quote I came across today that was the higher the level of denial, the lower the level of self-awareness.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I thought I was okay. And I was numbing myself and I was trying to avoid, push away things so I could get to this level of stasis. But I was always on the verge of getting triggered and into a meltdown. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not okay.
I feel like the I'm okay might be true on the surface.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just kind of floating through your day, maybe you do feel okay. But the problem is there's turmoil underneath the
Mhm.
surface that
Yeah.
is not being addressed. and then something triggers you, and then how you respond
Yeah.
becomes present.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a kind of not okay. I mean, you might feel in the moment okay, but
Right.
I mean, for me, there's always something broiling underneath everything. There's always something,
Yeah.
going on in my head. Like I was trying to describe to my therapist today what it's like to live in my head, and like it's just always chaotic,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm always fighting thoughts and trying to live my life. So if I say I'm okay, what do I mean by that?
Right. Right.
I'm not having a meltdown right now, so I'm
Yeah.
okay. But right now, my mind is going 5,000 miles a minute, and
Mhm.
every not good enough thought got triggered by this thing that happened earlier today, and I'm flustered and upset, and my stomach hurts, and my
Mhm.
chest hurts. Like I think it both can be true, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah. I think the problem is, like, for me, I would treat these outbursts or these meltdown things as kind of like a one-off.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was weird, huh? Let me go back
Why'd I do
to
that?
numbing myself and feeling normal.
Mhm.
Yeah, why did I wouldn't even ask. I didn't want to know because I
Yeah.
didn't want to have to look at it and deal with it. If I could just go with the premise that I'm okay, just sometimes things happen, but I'm okay, maybe I won't have to deal with it. Maybe it'll go away on its own. Denial with a capital D.
And the treating things like that, like a one-off, is something I've definitely done. I was thinking today about like what you just said about saying you're okay, because how are you today? Constantly at my job. How are you today? I'm okay. Can't ever. I say I'm good. I'm okay. Like I can't sit there and tell them my life story. Obviously,
Yeah.
Well,
Actually,
that would be really weird and unprofessional.
They're just
But
like,
anyways,
I just want to buy Fritos. Why is she telling me this?
I don't want to know about that.
I mean, I get details from them that I don't really want to know either. On occasion. At any rate, there's definitely something always brewing underneath of what we show to the world, which there's nothing inherently wrong with that. And I think you can be okay in terms of like acceptance, like this is just how it is, but this is how my life is. And I think that, as much as it sucks the majority of the time, is kind of a gift because they're living in reality. And people have their addictions, or they have the things, and I'm including myself in this, that they do. Let me take addiction out of the equation. They have things they do that seem okay on the surface, but they're really numbing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really not okay. They're just in
Yeah.
denial about how bad they're in the room with the fire. They're in denial about how bad.
Habanero?
You got to not be in denial about habanero. That stuff is hot, girls.
Woo. And if you
Yeah.
get it in your eyes. Woo.
Oh, Lord.
How bad things actually are.
Are you feeling human again? Human again?
Very
Did I
human.
say it right?
I was
Humanigan,
trying to say
yeah.
Human again?
I can't get it out. I was
We're just going to have a little moment of laughter.
I give up.
Feel free to join in.
I was trying to say
We don't
how
know-
in bad
I don't know what we're laughing at.
Might want to
trying-
give a little
I was trying to
context
say
since you brought
how
it up.
and bad at the same time. It came out habanero, I guess. Anyways, by the way, a sense of humor really helps when things suck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you can find something to laugh about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does
Yeah.
help ease the pain a bit to find things to laugh about. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
just watching people, and myself included in that. Like I told Ev yesterday at church, I've been going through my social media and kind of deleting, and there's nothing inherently wrong with the people I was following. They weren't doing anything for outrageous, but there's still a lot of junk. a lot of junk that I was watching, mindless junk, and it was affecting me. And I realized that's part of my addiction to my phone is just this sort of zoning out escapism thing that I'm very good at. And I thought, well, if I'm going to spend time, and I didn't delete everybody, and I'm not done yet, but I want to add in people who are talking about things that are important to me that I can learn from too, and not just spend time mindlessly scrolling or doom scrolling, as our younger generation like to call it. That's one of the things I would do.
When you doom scroll, do you hear a soundtrack going dun dun dun?
No, that's just what they call it. I don't know what they hear.
That would be awesome. Wait.
What were you?
Dun 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 dun.
No, wait a minute. Now we're doing Darth Vader. That's Vader scrolling.
He does kind of bring doom, so it kind of fits.
He does. He comes sweeping in.
Let's see if I can get through the next sentence without laughing. I don't know. Anyway.
Wow, we are really cracking ourselves up tonight.
Sometimes you just gotta add a little levity, but let's get back on track, shall we?
But anyhow, like
back on Rochelle's habanero.
Look, she was almost able to talk without laughing.
I was almost.
Oh no!
Why do I not feel bad about this?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyways.
Okay. Serious face.
Serious face.
But anyways, like scrolling on your phone, social media is not inherently bad. You're not, I'm not watching things that are outrageous or bad or anything, but I realized the amount of time I was spending doing that with no benefit, just complete escapism. Some things, it's fine to watch funny things or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, we lost the bun.
Rochelle did a magic trick.
Whoa!
Heads up. Bun's recording will continue on a new track.
Whoa! Rochelle, we can't hear you.
Okay, Evelyn, the whoa was really loud.
Oh, sorry.
You're like, whoa!
Sorry about your ears.
Uh-oh.
She's
Rochelle,
not
you might
audible.
have to leave and come back. That's it. I'm leaving now. I'm coming back.
Should I leave and come back?
You already did once. Rochelle's left twice. You left once. It's my turn. It's my turn to leave. I need to leave now.
See ya.
Bye. Wait, that's not working.
I can still see you.
I know. Oh wait,
it's like the toddler.
Okay. Not once,
it's like
but
the toddler.
Now.
You can't see
I've had
me.
to leave.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, you're gonna leave.
I'm leaving.
Playing peekaboo with an napkin. All right.
Oh my god.
The thing is, you might be in denial about this stuff, but you were there the whole time. I'm just saying. That's reality.
I touched something and I'm not gonna touch my computer again while we're recording.
Put your hands down.
Anyways,
no more of this either.
Right. But yeah, like I'm gonna try to say this one more time. I think the smaller acts of escapism is what I was trying to get at, which I've certainly done. I'm just now realizing, like I said at the beginning of this, that as hard as it is, I would rather be dealing with my trauma and feeling the pain I'm feeling and experiencing than not. Because how it was before was so much worse. Like, they both suck, but in completely different ways. Because this has purpose. This has a direction, whereas before it's just sort of the weird little denial bubble that I lived in. And it was really hard to navigate because I was constantly in anxiety and fear and uncertainty and just trying to please my limbic brain. And which means the part of the brain that is wants short-term satisfaction, is kind of perpetuating the escapism and the denial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I realize the difference between the two now is like huge when you really look at it from the sense of like, I was here sort of in this bubble, and now I'm trying to break out of that and really live in reality and not be in denial, as hard as that is. Because
Right.
it's constant. It's like, because it's brand new for me. It's constant. Like, I was at work today, and under my breath, I'm going, no. Or it was like, I wanted a soda really bad. Now, I usually get the 0 sugar ones if I get a soda. I wanted a regular Coke really bad. And I knew the reason. I've had regular Coke there, but I knew the reason I wanted it was the wrong reason. I wanted to feel something temporarily. And under my breath, I'm like, no, 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 no. And nobody could hear me. It was a little bit ridiculous, but like that little thing was kind of what I'm talking about. Like, not inherently bad, but the context was. Because it was a form of escapism, even if it was just lasted a couple minutes.
Yeah. I keep getting this picture in my mind of where somebody's in a pool and just their head is above the water, and under the water there is piranhas, right? And they're so disconnected from their body they don't even realize that the piranhas are eating at them. And everyone's like, "Are you okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine."
As they become a
Right.
floating head.
Yeah. Right. And that's what it seems like denial really is, because you're in this sort of, like you're talking about, this weird sort of bubble of, I guess, successfully being pain-free.
Mm-hmm.
Because denial a lot of times has to do with how much you're able to numb yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I think people with traumas are especially good, addicts are especially good at numbing out. And, we're especially good at finding ways to just not cope with anything.
Yeah.
So stepping out of denial means stepping into pain, which is scary for people.
It is.
If you were to pay attention to what's going on under the water, it would scare you.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you have to deal with the fact that you're being attacked and diminished and eaten alive, basically.
Yeah.
And that's tough for people to manage, but because we don't want to feel pain.
Right.
I think aside from food, shelter, love, and companionship, I think avoiding pain is like one of the top things that people,
definitely,
humans, just want to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the reasons why people are addicted, or the reasons why people are in denial, are very painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your brain doesn't really differentiate, according to science anyway. The last thing I heard about it. I could be wrong. Don't skewer me about it. But it seems true that your body doesn't differentiate between physical pain and mental pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling mental pain, you want to stop it. Like, go take a Tylenol. Well,
yeah.
I mean, ibuprofen,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is you take.
Yeah.
I've been hearing things about Tylenol lately. I'm not sure what to think about Tylenol right now, but at any rate, the idea being that, like if you burn your skin, you put ice on it because you don't
Right.
want to feel the burn.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If you stub your toe, if you break your toe, you might want to take pain medicine. If you, cut yourself, you want to put a little lidocaine ointment on,
Right.
or you have an abscessed tooth, you want to go get something to numb it out.
Mm-hmm.
My husband had a nearly torn bicep rotator cuff in his one shoulder. It was like 50% torn.
Wow.
And he had a surgery to repair it. And they had done a nerve block in the surgery to numb that out. But when that wore off, he was restless. I had him pacing the living room until the morning time, because even though it doesn't actually take the pain away, at least it's a distraction.
Yeah.
Something that pregnant women do when they're giving birth or in labor is to pace around. and it
Mhm.
helps to keep your mind going in the right direction. But man, was
Yeah.
he in pain.
Mm.
And no amount of pain medicine that he was given was helping at all. And it can make you feel like, if it's really intense, it can make you feel a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does for sure.
And I think maybe that's why people want to avoid it, because they're worried about going crazy or getting lost or losing their mind, or
Right.
wanting to numb out more.
Mhm.
And I think it's really critical to understand that if you give up something, if you give up denial,
Mm-hmm.
you're choosing to step into pain, but you don't have to just live with pain all the time. You can do something about it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the point.
You
Right.
can go to therapy, you can learn, you can exercise things, you can do things to help yourself bear with the pain.
Yeah.
And eventually will diminish. I mean, Rochelle and I talked about this recently on the podcast, I think, where she was talking about being in pain. I said, well, when you first start feeling something new, it feels really intense.
I was on the way home from church last week or a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. It feels
Yeah.
really intense, but eventually it calms down and you just get
Mhm.
used to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you sprain your ankle, my analogy was, if you sprain your ankle, initially it's very painful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And as your body is healing itself, you kind of get used to what it feels like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then, you might take a little ibuprofen or whatever to deal with if it's like a spike in pain or something. But for the most part, you're just dealing with it. You're not
Yeah.
You're not sitting there like hunched over, sweating and like grunting all the time. You just kind of get used to it, which I think is amazing that your body can just get used to pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
And
there's
you're-
some people who have chronic pain that they have to deal with, and that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like mental anguish. It can feel really hard to deal with, but it can be dealt with, is my point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about, and this is a pretty brutal example. When I was younger, I saw the movie The Basketball Diaries a couple of times, which I don't know if I'd recommend it or not. It's a pretty intense movie.
Never
There's
seen
a couple. There's
No.
a couple of scenes. This kid's basically an addict the entire movie. He's addicted to heroin, and just the intensity of his addiction is more than overwhelming. And I don't remember the context of the scene, but I remember there's a scene where he's like screaming and crying, and I guess he's going through withdrawals or something, and saying how much it hurts because withdrawals hurt. And heroin withdrawals can kill you, from what I understand. And he gets and this guy, I guess a friend of his or a mentor or something, this older guy rescues him, brings him to his house, and he goes through these withdrawals. And then at the end of it, the first thing he says is, "Can you get me more drugs?" Essentially, which is unreal. Like the guy's like, "You almost died, and you want more." This is kind of the epitome of denial. Like somebody telling me, I have emphysema, or I have this, or they're on oxygen, they're buying cigarettes. I'm like, what the heck, man? We talk about things like trauma and maladaptive behaviors, and someone's just doing, myself included, doing the same thing over and over again, and it's not working. It's making it worse. And it's without purpose. There's no purpose to it. I think that's the thing that got me, was there's no purpose in that kind of life, because it just feels like you're just existing.
Yeah,
and that's what people are doing.
I don't know much about what it's like to be physically addicted to heroin or cocaine or any of those, but I know a little bit from just talking to a friend about their child. I think there is an element of physical addiction. I mean, I'm not an expert, so I don't really know because I've never done any of that, but there is a my son came home, just put it in the fridge or the freezer. He brought me my ice cream.
Oh.
There he is. Hey, son.
There he is again.
Anyway. So anyway, it may be that the movie was portraying that physical addiction. It's not necessarily mental addiction.
Right.
I don't really know. I'm speaking about things I don't understand, but
Yeah.
that may be part of it, because I feel like the way people explain it is there is a physical craving
There is, yeah, definitely, I'm sure.
for stuff like that. Now, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to food addiction, there's a mental craving, not a physical craving most of the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it might be a little different
Yeah.
with mine. I don't really know. So if you're an addict and you're listening to this, my apologies. We don't really know what we're talking about, but we're trying to figure out the reason why anybody gets addicted. Most of the time has something to do with the past. And getting out of that means getting into pain. And the struggle is probably going to be lifelong, from what I understand, when it comes to addiction, if it's a substance. Getting clean is one of the bravest things anybody can do.
Yes.
And I really admire people who, manage to get themselves off of whatever substance they're on and start making a difference in their lives.
Mhm.
But I think a lot of people find out that there's a reason why they were addicted to begin with. It's not just
Yeah.
because they felt like it. Like, that is like really, I mean, sure, there are people like that just for the heck of it, just for the thrill of it. I'm sure there are people like that, but I think majority of people are not like that. I think the majority of people are
Yeah.
suffering in pain
Yeah.
and unconsciously found a way to manage it.
To escape.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, like in the recovery community, the reason why you came is not, this is what they say. The reason why you came is not the reason that you're here.
Right.
Because usually you keep coming back and you keep, especially if you're working on being sober, then all that pain that you were numbing is coming to the surface.
Right.
And the way that you used to deal with it is not an option anymore if you're in recovery. So now, great, I've got to deal with the stuff from my childhood, the stuff from an abusive marriage, the stuff from being bullied, or, whatever had been kind of kept at bay, but was slowly killing us. And, I was thinking about stepping into pain.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the difference is, instead of being eaten alive, now you're fighting for your life, and you're bringing yourself life. And as painful as that is, this is the way of escape. This is the way to, and I got that image in my head, Steph, the person in the pool. I'm like, swim to the edge.
Get out of the water.
Once you realize, like, oh, wow, the initial shock is over. And especially if people have been telling you, and there's a breaking point where you like come to your senses and you realize, and a lot of people, that's when they hit rock bottom, when they hit that point where the pain is so bad. And they realize, I have to do something different if I'm going to survive this.
Right.
So, and maybe now they can hear the people around them where they were like, la, 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 now I can hear you. Now I'm listening, because I realize what you're saying is true.
Yeah.
And I don't know where to go from here, but I know I have to get out of this situation. And I think that, we need to get to that point. And for me, although I'm not, I don't have the, addiction to drugs or anything either. There's a lot of what we call, I guess, come to Jesus moments where you're like, oh, that's true. Ugh. This is like sipping death, and I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought of that too. Like you said, killing us slowly. I mean, what we do with our mind affects our body, and it doesn't have hopefully, I don't know for sure, but it doesn't have as adverse an effect as a physical addiction would have. But I imagine, well, I can say for sure it does, because I had congestive heart failure when I was 46, And there was a nurse a psychiatric nurse that happened to come into my room, and she believed that it was because I was having constant panic attacks. My weight definitely contributed, but she believed that was the majority of the problem. And it made total sense because I was having them constantly, like every hour, not realizing what was going on. It still took me a long time to overcome those. It was I was not addicted per se, but my denial was killing me about how bad things were mentally and emotionally, and not dealing with the trauma that had been inflicted upon me. Like, and I still didn't get it. Even after that, I was still thinking it was a physical problem. I understood what she was saying. Well, if I was trying to treat the symptom, but just overcome the panic attacks, it'll be fine. That's the problem. It's not the trauma. It's the panic attack.
Yeah.
And food was the same way for me. Like, I'm still working through that. I had to do something. I knew I'd come to the point where I had to do something. And it wasn't like I made a conscious decision. I just decided, or I just said I just knew something had to change. I didn't know how to do it, but something had to change. And it'll be a lifelong thing because I've had a food addiction the majority of my adult life. And it's killing you. It is killing you slowly. Like you said, that's such a profound way to look at it. And terrifying. If people aren't dealing with their trauma and living in denial, even if they're not an addict like a physical addict addicted to a substance, something is still destroying them.
Right.
And it could just be your mental state or your emotional state.
Yeah, because I feel like people's maladaptive behaviors brings a lot of pain on themselves in social situations, jobs, friendships, whatever, and we keep going around the same mountain, ending up in the same place over and over again, and seeming like you're just not getting it. And maybe people who are close to you can see it, and they try to talk to you about it. And you're just like, I don't know, I'm fine. What are you talking about? I'm totally fine. Like,
right.
It doesn't have to be dramatic and about addiction. It could just be how you behave. Right. And if that behavior becomes problematic for you and other people, then, and it's a repeat pattern, it typically means that there's something inside of you that's causing you to get tripped up. And being in denial about that isn't helping you get past it, whatever it is.
Right.
So, I'm still contemplating something about my past. For example, and I had this thought the other day. Like, typically I would be labeled as goody two shoes and teacher's pet, brown noser, that kind of thing, because I would do the homework, follow the rules, know the answers. But why was I doing that? Was I doing it because I care about doing the right thing, or was I doing it to avoid getting into trouble with authority?
Yeah.
That's the question.
That's the question. Yeah.
And if the answer is, well, that's the kind of person I am, then maybe I'm not in denial about how I was brown nosing and being teacher's pet or goody two shoes.
Yeah.
But if I was doing it to avoid getting into trouble with authority, it was creating a problem with my peers because they saw me as someone who was trying to win the teacher's favor and be the best and all that and rise above them. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas the reverse was true. I was trying to avoid getting into trouble. Right?
Yeah. Just the opposite. Yeah.
So, but still, it was detrimental to my relationships with my peers.
Right.
To be doing that. And that's been a very painful thing for me to have had in my life, because I've felt like a victim a lot of the time. about that specific point. Like, I didn't really get along with people in high school or middle school, especially middle school. Which I guess is universally true
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
That's where a lot of us
I
hit that.
always felt alone and like an odd duck
Excuse me.
Mhm.
wherever I was, with whomever I was with,
Yeah.
and had a hard time connecting and acting normal.
Mm.
But I took it personally, and I took it as they were mean to me. But what was I doing to contribute to this? And that's
Yeah.
the part, the denial part. Like, I've posited to myself all these years, well, they were just being mean.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a reason to treat me that way. But lately, I've been thinking about maybe they did.
Yeah. You know, I remember, talking about middle school. I've often mentioned about how I was bullied in elementary school and middle school, but I also remember times when I was mean to people. And, I think always reminding myself, retelling the story about being bullied, I was pushing away the times when I acted at least as bad as the people who were treating me badly.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to face the reality of who we really are,
We are and what we've done.
and what we've done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the choices that we made. It's so much easier to, home in on, well, he did this and she did that. But it's like, but what about you, Ev? Ugh.
Yeah.
Are you so perfect? No, and to be able to swing that searchlight inward and to see what's in there.
Bless you.
I'm
again.
still pretty new at that. So, and it's hard because I start to think about, I should focus on this more so I can know my own, sins, for lack of a better term, my sinful tendencies and things. And it's easier to find something else to do. I'm really good at finding something else to do. Oh, look, I need to reorganize my desk or something. It's like, no, quit trying to run away. Because coming out of denial, it's hard.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about deflection yet, but
Coming
it's
next
easier.
week.
But part of denial is I'd rather look at what other people are doing and what they've done
Yeah.
instead of, I did that.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm sorry, go ahead, Rochelle.
I was going to say that in my case, I used to tell myself isolation, being by myself, I didn't even call it isolation. Being by myself wasn't that bad. Because it didn't, on the surface, it seemed normal to me for a long time. And it took me a long time to understand it was excessive. And I would tell myself, oh, it's not that bad. I justify it in some way. Total denial. And now facing that and understanding it's not just who I am. I tell myself, that's just who I am. I'm just really introverted.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is I was trying to escape and not deal with things, not deal with the pain. It was my main way to stay comfortable. Like I said at the beginning, my big thing is being comfortable because I felt like I was entitled to that since my childhood sucked so much. And now realizing that I'm still introverted, but it's not in the same way. It's like, who am I going to be to the people I care about? And how am I going to conduct myself with them? Mainly you guys and Stephen and Fran. Because it's important to be part of something. It's important to get out of yourself, outside of yourself. And
No,
What are we
I don't
talking
think
about?
I don't think anyone was thinking you were talking about an out of body experience, Rochelle.
That's not where my mind went.
Out of yourself. That's not what I meant.
We were tracking
Getting
just
outside
fine,
of your-
Rochelle.
I know, I'm sorry. Something just made me laugh.
She's cracking herself up.
Anything can make you laugh, Rochelle.
That's true.
She's
But
not in
anyways.
denial about that.
Nope. But yeah, getting outside of yourself and not looking through the lens of denial, so to speak, like I was doing. And it created all this behavior that I'm still fighting through now. I catch myself wanting to escape pretty constantly and having to constantly tell myself, no, that's not right. Don't do that, because that's how you wasted so much time. And now you're middle-aged and now you got to figure this out. That's the main thing I tell myself is, here we are, almost 52, trying to figure these things out now. Wish I would have done it sooner, but here we are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as hard as it is to admit, it's better this way. I keep saying that because I just feel like I've gotten to the place where I understand how much better. And somebody who's on the other side of that, who doesn't understand that their denial is hurting them, would say, no, I'd rather stay here in the piranha pool.
In the piranha pool.
Okay, you said piranha pool.
Yes.
My brain heard something else.
The
It's like
piranha pool.
It's like Humanigan. Piranha pool. Piranha pool.
Piranha pool.
The piranha pool.
Humanigan was typed out.
The Chronicles of Piranha Pools.
Anyways. Yes. How did this one get so silly?
Denial. The Chronicles of
The
Piranha
Piranha
Pool.
Pools. I think we have a title.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, someone's in the piranha pool. I can even say it now. Living in their denial. And you have to fight your way out. You can't just sit there and let it happen.
Yeah.
Because what denial brings is a victim mentality. That's what it creates and perpetuates itself by being the perpetual victim.
Victim mentality, entitlement,
Yeah.
All kinds of things. And a thought occurred to me while you were talking, Rochelle, and I know this is going to sound strange to say out loud, but to be alive is to be in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would much rather be alive and in pain than be in some sort of denial about reality and be able to experience things, be fully aware of it, and be present, and still be in pain, but also experience other things besides pain, like joy, laughter, happiness, silliness.
Yeah.
I'd rather take the chance that something's going to be painful and live with that rather than be numbed up and tuned out from life in general.
Yeah,
definitely.
And there's something heroic about that because you're choosing it. You're choosing the better thing. And I think that's heroic in its own way. I think people admire people who do that. I think they stand out because most people living in denial and don't want to deal with the reality of what is really going on. Those who choose to live in reality are kind of heroic because they're doing something every day that not many people want to do. And then, people could ask them, how do you do that? How do you manage? You just have to choose it. There's no magic formula.
Yeah.
There are no magic cures for your trauma.
No magic cures. But I think that there's a lot of wisdom in, thankfully, we only have to live one day at a time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sound like recovery committee, but really, I found it doable. And with the really bad pain, I remember talking to a mom who had just lost her son, and I had gone to it was the viewing the night, or it was actually a special service the night before for him. And I overheard someone ask her, how are you doing? She goes, one breath at a time. So if you
Mhm.
can't do one day at a time, that seems like too much. It comes down to one moment at a time, one breath at a time. And it is doable and it does get better. I think that that's the big thing. And when I opened myself up to feeling the feelings, because I had numbed myself for so long, I couldn't enjoy anything. I wasn't upset about much, except that I would get very upset when I would get triggered. But then I would go back to numbness. And as Steph had mentioned, it's not just life sucks and then you die. It's also, today I was on my way to work and I was at a light and I looked up the sky and I thought, oh, it's gorgeous. And I love to look at the sky anyway, but it was more like an academic, like the clouds look lovely, but I actually felt delight. And in that moment, everything stopped and I could look at the clouds and I could see how the sun was shining through them and the pattern of it all. And in that moment, there was delight. And I thought, oh, that's available too. So it's you're feeling highs, you're feeling lows, you're feeling in between, and navigating all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Ev and I are going to Japan in a couple of weeks. And I am scared.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing scares me. The traveling, the training, because we're doing martial arts training with our teacher in Japan. And the whole thing scares me, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I've had some fairly heavy freakouts in the middle of the night about it. But I would much rather go in pain, which is being scared,
Mm-hmm.
and experience this trip, experience Japan for the first time ever in my life.
Yes.
Experience the training, being with my teacher because I don't get to see him in person a whole lot. Be with other people and take in the sights, take in the atmosphere, take in the culture, everything.
Yeah.
I'd much rather do it this way than be high or numbed out or blanked out or any other thing I could be to manage my anxiety and fear. Because, like Ev was saying, even though there is pain, you still experience beauty and joy and all kinds of wonderful things. If you're numbed out, you can't experience the good stuff.
Yeah.
It's true.
There's so much good that comes with it. Like, I've been debating about saying this the last couple minutes. I'm going to say it anyways.
Just say it.
Just say it. Do it.
It's a pretty strong statement, I think, but without God, there's a lot of despair and a lot of hopelessness. With God, there's joy. And there's so much that makes this journey their journey of healing worth it. And you may never arrive in this lifetime, but you will find places along the way where you have accomplished something and you feel the healing and you see it in your life and you see yourself helping others. I think that's worth everything. I think it's worth
it.
The sacrifice of feeling the pain, because that's the point anyways.
Yeah.
And I asked myself the question I asked God and myself the question, what is the point of all this anyway? Well, because without it, who would I be? Would I have chosen this for myself? Of course not. But who would I be without it? Would my character be formed? Would I become whomever God has created me to be? No, I would not.
Right.
So better to feel the pain than not. Better to be living in reality and not in denial anymore.
I hate roller coasters. Just
me too.
FYI. Don't like them. But I'd much rather be on the roller coaster of life. Yeah. Scared. And be seeing all sorts of wonderful things and experiencing friendship and love and all the things,
Realness.
real life. I'd much rather do it like that instead of pretending like the roller coaster doesn't exist.
Yeah. While you're still getting jerked around.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still getting eaten by the piranhas.
In the piranha pool.
Yes. If you forget everything else we talked about, remember
The Chronicles of Piranha Pools.
and get out of the pool.
Just get out.
Get out.
Then they won't
You
be
can
eating you alive
swim.
anymore.
You don't have to stay there.
Yes. Well, it's been 1 hour and 11 minutes. We did it again.
We did it
Go
again.
us. So we should probably wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
And I guess to sum up what we've been talking about, denial is living in a way that doesn't deal with reality as it is,
Right.
because we're attempting to escape pain.
Right.
And when we finally are confronted with reality, we have a choice to make. A lot of people still choose denial, but a lot of people choose to move forward. And even though you're making a conscious choice to step into pain,
Mm-hmm.
being in pain isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world.
Right.
We're in pain regardless as humans, just from being
Yep.
alive, right?
Yep.
If you have extra pain because of trauma, that means you have extra work to do. But you can also experience the good stuff too. It's
Yeah.
not all doom and gloom. It's not all Darth Vader sleeping through the ship and force choking everyone. Sorry, that was a weird analogy. But we did bring him up earlier.
Yes.
Anyway, it's not all death and destruction, because
Right.
Yeah.
you are going to live life and you're going to feel all the good stuff as well as the bad stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So get out of the piranha pool, step into reality,
Yeah.
let yourself feel, and let yourself grow and become a better version of yourself. I think that's what we want. I think we all
Yes.
want that for ourselves and other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well said.
Agreed.
All right. Well, I am Stephanie Dunham.
I'm Evelyn Mason.
I'm Rochelle Knapp.
Share, like, subscribe, push all the buttons,
Do all the things.
This is all the things dance.
All the things. Do all the things.
Do all
Push
the
the button.
things.
Do all the
Share.
things. Subscribe.
Share.
Subscribe.
Share this.
Smash
Share
like.
this
Subscribe.
podcast
My
with
nephew
someone.
Smash the like.
If you know somebody in denial, share it with them.
Yes. They need to hear
Let
it.
us help them get out of the denial.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. All right. Well, have a good whatever. Day, night,
See ya.
whatever.
Bye.
See ya.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thanks so much for joining us as we discussed such an important topic. We hope you got some food for thought and encouragement to keep going and keep growing. See you later, Bear Club.